What is up, guys? Hope y'all are doing well. It is a very rainy Sunday afternoon here. I don't know if you guys can hear that rain in the background. I apologize if it's too loud. I find it very relaxing. But I just realized as I was sitting here that I have final exams in 1 week. What? It's crazy how fast it's gone by. I mean, geez, I'm almost finished with my first quarter of chiropractic school. It's crazy. It's happened too fast. I'm not used to this quarter system. I come from a semester-based school system where you have, 16 or 17 weeks of classes, and now I'm in the quarter-based system, which is 11 weeks, or 10 weeks plus 11 weeks including the finals. So it's crazy how fast it's gone by, but it's cool to look back and just reflect about how much I've learned and grown throughout this process, and it excites me to look forward to the next second, third, and fourth, and beyond quarters here in chiropractic school. But that's not what this video is about. What this video is going to be about is my tips and insights and things that I have learned throughout the years of school that have helped me out and can help you out for your final exams. So whether you are in high school or college or in graduate school or here at chiropractic school, or maybe you're not in school at all and you're still watching this video for some reason, but regardless of where you are, these tips and insights can help you out with your final exams, but also in other areas of life as well. So continue watching and let's get into this thing. So this video is going to kind of be a continuation of my midterm week video that I put out, where I talked about how to get straight A's and ace all your midterms like I did. So go check that video out if you haven't already. But this is going to be me talking to the camera. There's no crazy edits or anything going on, because I believe the nugget is not in the edit, but the nugget is going to be in the content for this video. So listen intently, take notes if you need to. So much like I talked about in the midterm video, I didn't give too much of the how to study, right? Of the study strategies, or how you should take notes, or how you should study, or different learning styles. I didn't go into that because I truthfully don't think that's the most important part when it comes to success in school, or success in anything when it comes to learning and growing. Rather, what I think is important, it is the mindset and the strategy and the preparation that you put into the work that you do. And there's a famous quote, or I believe it's famous because I've heard it many times. I don't even know who said this quote or where it comes from. Maybe one of you guys can incite me with that. But it says that failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Right? You guys have probably heard that before, but it's such a great quote because it's so true. That it's not in the failure to have the right note-taking strategy or the study, the study strategy for success, but it's the preparation stage that really ultimately gets you the results that you want to get. So that's what I'm going to go into. And the first preparation stage, it comes from the mindset. So I'm going to explain something called what I call the crapshoot exam mindset, right? I'm going to explain that. So this isn't necessarily something that's our fault. I believe it's something that the school system, the way it's just designed, is just, we develop this habit over time, but it's the mindset of regurgitating the material, or just cramming the material into our brain as quickly as possible for whatever exam we need to take, and then we regurgitate the material back out on the exam, and then we forget the material 1 week or 1 month later. We forget everything that we learned in the first place. Right? So it develops a short-term meaningless memory, but doesn't sustain long-term actual retention. Right? And so I call it, there's a name for it, but I just call it the crapshoot exam process because it's a load of crap, and you got to eliminate that mindset. Because, and here's why, and this is something that I've regretted, or not necessarily regretted, but I wish that I would have done differently in high school, my undergrad years, is I wish, rather than treating my exams that way where I'm just regurgitating the material and getting by class after class after class, I wish I would have actually taken the time to learn the material, because that way it would have helped me out more now in graduate school, right? Because for example, like I'm taking a biochemistry class right now, my first quarter, and I also took biochem in college. Now the biochem here is a lot more in depth because it's at a graduate school level, but there's still some concepts and things that I learned that I know I learned in undergrad, but because I just regurgitated all the material and forgot it all, that I had to relearn it and re-study it right now again. So it could have just set myself up that much more further. But also, especially if you're in chiropractic school, the material in the classes that you're taking now, you're gonna have to know again for boards. That happens, your 7th or 8th quarter. So you want to learn the material now because that way it's going to save you time, energy, effort later down the line whenever you can, that way you can open yourself up to focus on more important things than restudying and relearning the classes you took first quarter. Makes sense? So let's build the habits now needed to actually retain and learn the material. Now how do you do that? So let's get into the next thing. We have to eliminate certain mindsets and habits that we've been having. So the second mindset that we gotta completely get rid of is gonna be the calculating your grade habit. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure we all do this. I've been guilty of doing this my entire undergrad. And I'm sure some of you guys are as well, is that we wanna calculate the specific grade that we need on the exam to get the overall grade we want in the classroom, right? So we know how it is. We calculate, and let's say we realize that, oh damn, I need 103 to get a B in the class, but I only need a 70 to keep a C. So why would I want to study to get an A when I can just, be a little bit lazy and get a C? Or vice versa, we look and say, oh man, I've been crushing it this class, and I have an A, and I only need a 70 or 65 to keep that A. Well, what that causes though is it causes us to be very laxative with how we study. And then we go back to the crapshoot exam mindset where now we just want to learn the bare minimum that we need to get to learn the grade. And we become too grade focused versus actual retention focused. And that's not going to help us later down the line. It's not going to support us later down the line. It's only going to set us up for more work and more effort later on. So let's actually learn the material. So get rid of that mindset of calculating the grade, rather build the habits and strategies to actually retain the material today. So the next thing that I want to say is succeed from the start. Don't put yourself in the position to where you have to cram and do exceptionally well on your final just to get by in the class. Rather succeed from the start and keep that success as the bare minimum, and don't let it drop down, don't droop down, don't tread the water. And I'm going to use an example with this with bodyboarding or body surfing, because I used to love doing that as a kid. It's summertime, it's raining right now, but if say we're at the beach and it's nice and sunny, we want to do some body surfing. What do? Well, we start swimming up to the wave, we see the wave in the distance, and we're swimming, we're putting in the work, and then finally we get that feeling where the wave comes up to us, and then we get that little excitement feeling when we caught the wave, and we start going and going and going, and we're riding that wave, and it's exhilarating, it's exciting, the wave is taking us to the shore. But then what happens? The wave crashes down as it gains turbulence, and it starts rumbling us and takes us underneath the water and starts twisting and turning us and bunks us off the sand bed. And now I'm going to know now in chiropractic school that's probably terrible for your back, but that's another discussion. Right? When we become in control now, we're in complete control. The wave, the ocean is now in complete control of us and our destination. In school, I believe that we take this body surfing concept with us. We choose to ride the wave. In the beginning of the class, we're motivated, we're excited, we're determined that we're going to do well this quarter, this semester. Right? And so we study, we stay on top of our work. Then, we kind of slide off a little bit, but then we pick it back up when it comes to midterms. We cram for midterms and we get past that, but that was a little bit stressful. So then after midterms, we don't have anything till finals. So we kind of just slide down a little bit. We take it easy. We ease up on the work we were doing, right? We lose our focus, right? But what happens though, is the wave is gonna come crashing down once final exams come. It's gonna, boom, take us under. We're gonna tread water. Right? So rather, don't ride that wave. I know it's tempting and it's easy, but it's only going to lead to more chaos later down the line. So don't tread the water. Make success from the start and keep that success over time throughout the entirety of your class, into your entirety of school and your entire life, okay? So how do we do this? Well, I say number one, you gotta be organized. You gotta organize your notes. Okay, because this is going to help you out not only in your classwork right now, but also set yourself up when it comes time for boards, so that way you can go back through this classwork and review the material. Okay, but organizing your notes. Now, I like to keep everything digital, so I use Office 365. I also use Dropbox. Use whatever you want and whatever works for you. But I like to have organized my notes, and it's going to keep everything clear and concise. That way I'm not jumping all over the place whenever it comes time to study and to review. And then the next thing that I do is don't wait until the wave crashes to anticipate when finals are approaching. So I like to carve out the time beforehand to study. And I mentioned this in my midterm video, but I'm gonna say it again because it's so important. This might be the most important concept here, to set out the time beforehand for your final exams. So for me, and this isn't a rule, this is just a rule of thumb, you know, it changes, it varies classes to class, but I like to set out 2 weeks ahead of time to prepare for my finals. So finals are next week, so I've already begun this process and I'm continuing to do it, is to create small and consistent study habits versus creating big and extreme study habits, right? So doing small and consistent things rather than studying an entire workload or entire class in a short period of time, because it's overwhelming and it's stressful and it's not sustainable. You're not going to be able to actually learn the material if you cram it all in a short period of time. So rather than study, you know, a full midterm's worth of embryology, I'm just going to study chapters 1 and 2 tonight. And how freeing is that, right? And then furthermore with that, I like to take my organized notes that I had and then apply them to each of these small little chunks of study sessions that I have. And so what I like to do for this is the little strategy session here, is that I will rewrite or retype depending and make a hard copy. And I'll explain why I make a hard copy here in a bit, but make a hard copy of an outline of all the notes that I want to study for that particular time. And I apply that to each study session that I will take. And so what that does for me now is that when it comes time to study, I will print off and have a hard copy, just a document form of the outline of all of my notes. And so that whenever it comes to study time, when I go to my study place, all I don't have to worry about having a big binder and textbooks and unorganized notes and worksheets and have my entire laptop with the entire filler of notes with me. And I'm gonna explain why I don't even take my laptop with me whenever I go and study for my final exams. I just show up with my little note pack of just a few sheets of paper with the exact notes that I need to study for that particular time with me. And how freeing is that? Right? How freeing is it that you know exactly what you need to study? It's just a little small note packet in front of you. It's so freeing to know, right? And furthermore, why I don't take my laptop with me is because why on earth would I give myself access to the most distracting thing in this world, which is the internet? Right? Especially so when my brain is searching for every distraction possible. And you guys know this. I'm sure a lot of you guys are this way. I know I'm so this way. Whenever it comes time to study or to do like a big project or big work, we suddenly feel the urge to want to reorganize our entire closet, or reorganize our desk, or you get the point where we start researching and thinking about ideas and topics that have nothing to do with the work that we have to complete. Right? It's because our brain's searching for distractions. It's all a distraction. Right? Because our brain wants to avoid doing the work that we need to do right now, and they call it procrastination. So rather than fall victim to this, I try to completely avoid my brain from doing that. Right? So when I go and study, I don't take the internet with me. I don't take my laptop with me. I have my phone turned off, so that way I don't have the temptation to want to become distracted. That's why I also, I get away with it when it comes to midterms or for other exams. When it comes to my final exams, I stay away from studying in my apartment. Because if I'm here, I'm gonna go scrub my kitchen, I'm gonna go in my closet, I'm gonna do things that I've never done before. And I know that about myself. So I don't allow myself to become distracted, okay? So when you do that, and like I said before, everyone wants to search for the study strategy or the most efficient way to take your notes or how to maximize your own learning style. And all of those can be effective and great things to learn, but that's not the solution to your problem to becoming successful when it comes to your final exams or successful in anything in life, really. What it comes to, though, is having clarity. When it comes to, though, is being prepared, right? And knowing exactly what needs to get done. Because the point of this is you can have the most perfect strategy possible. You can know your learning style to the T. You could have the best notes in the world. But if you haven't set out the time, or you haven't set out the intention behind what you're studying, right? If you're cramming for your material, if you have too much going on, if you're disorganized, if you're chaotic, then there's so much noise in your environment, then you're not setting yourself up for your brain to be able to learn the material in the first place, right? And so what I believe in is that the brain will naturally adapt to be able to learn the material. I think if you have the ability to watch this video and hear me right now, then you also have the ability to learn anything in this world, because our brains are so intelligent and they have the ability to learn and adapt to anything. I truly believe that, right? So it's not how we teach our brains to learn. It's how do we prepare and organize the brain to be able to learn. And that's by setting the environment, setting the intention with how we study and how we do the work. Okay? So if you do all of that, I believe that you will set yourself up for success in your final exams and beyond, and set yourself up for success as a future student, as a future chiropractor, and for the rest of your life, baby. Okay, cool. So I hope this video helped. If it did, do what you always do. Give this video a like and leave a comment below if you learned something. What did you learn in this video? What is your takeaway from this video? And if you have your own little study tip or your own insights, then leave them in the comments below for other people who are watching us to learn from as well, because I certainly don't know everything and my answer isn't the all be all, right? Everyone has their own way of doing things. So leave your comment below. And next week's video, like I said, exams start next Monday, so I would try to get a video out. Not sure if I'll be able to, just I want to focus on my final exams next week, but I'll try to get a video out. If I don't, then a video will come out the following week, and I'm going to give my insights for everything that I've learned this course. It's going to be a good video, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys, if you have final exams coming up, you guys crush them and do well on them, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!